Hello everyone, Courtney here from How to Loom Your Dragon. Today we will be doing the Saphira tutorial from Eragon. This tutorial is dedicated to Kathryn Banks, who is a big fan of Eragon. So am I. So Kathryn, I hope that you love this Saphira. Definitely show me pictures. I say this to everybody. Show me pictures on Facebook or Instagram. See the links in the description for anybody who does this. Saphira is from Eragon, okay? The books by Christopher Paolini, which I absolutely love these books. My computer mirrors the image, that's why it looks backwards. Saphira, this is Saphira. There was an Eragon movie that was made years ago, like 8 years ago, but I am not doing that Saphira. I'm doing the book Saphira because the book blew the movie out of the water. Like the books are so much better. So I'm doing book Saphira, okay? And that way, if and when I do the other dragons from the series, I can also go by the book descriptions of them. Alright, so check the description of this video for what you'll need for this video, like the band count and everything. I'm going to be using a bunch of different blues in my Saphira, because I have so many different shades of blue. But if you don't want to go out and buy all those blues, you can just do a single blue for her. That's fine. Okay? I think that's about it. This should not be... you should not do this project if you're a beginner with the rainbow loom because it is very complicated. Her head design is very difficult. Okay, it took me forever to get her head right. Okay, without it looking like a horse. The first design looked like a horse, so yeah, just so you know, it's difficult. But if you've done a bunch of my tutorials before, this really shouldn't be any more hazardous or difficult. Okay, just stick with it, and she's gonna be gorgeous. Alright, so we're gonna start with the head because that's the hardest part. I'm going to be using a bunch of different blues. I'm going to be using the navy blue jelly. Alright. I'm also using the ocean blue, the opaque ocean blue. And I'm also using the jelly ocean blue. Okay. I found this at Michael's. I don't know if it's still available, but it is like a jelly ocean blue. Same thing as the ocean blue, but it is kind of see-through. It's pretty cool. And then I'm also doing the neon blue, which I don't believe is continued anymore, but it's kind of like a lighter shade of the ocean blue. You could probably use aqua as well, or turquoise or teal or whatever that other color is. You could, this is the teal if you want to use that. It's kind of similar, it's a little more green. Okay. You'll need some white and black, but check the band description, you'll also need pink. Alright, let's begin here. Starting with her head. We are going to be doing the antenna portion of her head first. Okay, so I'm going to use, if you're only using like one type of blue, just whenever you see me grab whatever shade of blue, just use your single shade of blue, okay? I'm using the navy jelly right now. We are double looping, okay? We need 2 looms for the head, okay? So see how I made my loom into like an arrow shape here? And those 5 columns, and the 6th column is just kind of off to the side. It's not a big deal because we won't really be using it that much during the head. Okay, so just make sure the 5 these 5 columns are shaped like an arrow. Okay, so I'm starting with the navy jelly bands. These are all double looped. Okay, so I did the navy jelly blue 10 times. Now I'm going to be mixing in some of the ocean jelly with it. Okay, so now I'm doing an ocean jelly. Then I'm going back to the navy. Then I'm just going to alternate. Okay, so ocean, then navy, Ocean, yeah, navy, ocean, navy, ocean, and navy. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So again, starting with the navy. Okay. Ooh. So 10 times with the navy blue. These are her antennae. Oops. Is that the right color? No, I got the wrong color. Sometimes the ocean and the navy are very similar. The ocean's a little bit lighter. Okay, so once you've done that 10 times, 10, 11, or 11, 10 or 11 times, it's fine. I actually did 11 there, and 11 on this side. I didn't realize it. Alright, now we're doing the ocean jelly. Move back to the navy. Ocean, navy, ocean, navy, ocean, navy, ocean, navy. Okay, now I'm taking 2 navies. Okay, so 2 navies, not double looped, just 2 regular navies, there and there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. So here and here. Okay, and I'm going to cap off with a navy here, wrapping the band around, creating 4 loops. Okay, now we're going to loom this. So go under the capping band, grabbing the top 2 bands, which are these. Okay, and I'm just going to loom this entire antenna. Sometimes I tend to loom quickly, if you haven't done my videos before. It's not that I like to confuse people, it's just that my videos tend to be long, so in order to try to shorten them as much as possible, I loop quickly. So feel free to use the pause button if you need to. Alright, so now once we're done with that antenna, we're going to go back down, grabbing these 2 and looping up this antenna. Okay, now I'm going to cap or tie off each end. So I'm going to take the navy blue and I'm going to pull it through the end loops. Put both ends on my hook, take the one closest to the handle, lift it over the other, and pull. Just capping, or I keep saying capping off, tying off, doing a slip knot at both ends. Once I've done that, I can take off her antenna. It might be easier to take it off from the top. Okay. So once I've taken it off, I want to hide these loops at the end. So what I'm going to do, make sure they're pulled tight. You're going to go into the second set of double loops, and you're going to pull that loop through. Whoops. Oops, that didn't work. What just happened? Sorry, trying again. Okay, so I pulled it through. Now I'm going to pull it through from the other direction. You just kind of want to zigzag it through the bands. Okay, so you want to bring it down through the bands, just zigzagging it through. Yeesh. Go through. Till it's pretty much hidden in there. See that? Now it looks a lot better at the top. Do the same thing to the other side. Okay. So we're going to pull it through. Okay, so it's pretty much in there. I can adjust it later. Alright, so I have her antenna, okay? Cool. Now, we're going to work on the top of the head, okay, so the forehead. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do a mixture of the opaque ocean blue and the jelly ocean, okay? So I'm going to take one of each time, okay? You're doing double bands, I'm doing one of each time. Okay, so just follow me here. If you're doing a mixture like me, it looks a lot neater if you actually put the same color on the top every time. So I'm doing the opaque on the top. Okay, jelly on the bottom. It doesn't matter that much, but it'll give it a neater look in the end. Okay, went down 6 times there. Okay, I'm going to stop there, and I'm going to go down this side now. down this side. Okay, just like that. Take two more, and we're going to go diagonally like this. And two more, diagonally like this. Okay, we're going to make the eyes now. So you're going to pick your eye color. I'm going to do the dark navy jelly blue. Okay, which is actually a really dark color. But it's up to you what color you want to do. Actually, just kidding, I'm gonna do the metallic blue. It's a lighter blue, but I think it'll help the eyes to stand out by using a different shade of blue. So I'm using the metallic blue. It's kind of like a shiny metal color. Okay, so you're gonna take a white band and you're gonna wrap it 4 times around your hook. This is for the whites of the eyes. Try not to get it too twisted. Then you're going to do the same thing with your eye color. And then you're going to take a black and you're going to wrap that one around twice. Okay. And you're going to hold one end with your finger because we want her eyes to look kind of like slits, so I'm not going to wrap it around as much. While you're holding that with your finger, you're going to take your eye color and you're going to bring 2 of the 4 loops around onto the other side of the black. Get over there, there's 1, there's 2. Okay. Once you've done that, you can kind of let go of that black loop and it should kind of stay. Now I'm going to take 2 of the white loops onto the other side of the blue. Okay, just like that. Now, this is optional. We can make a little eyelid for her. I'm going to do it, and then if it looks bad, I'm just going to take it off. So I'm going to use the opaque blue here, and I'm going to double loop it. I'm going to put it on my hook all the way on this side of the eye, and then I'm going to figure 8 it, so I'm going to twist it and bring it onto the other side. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, you can always kind of adjust it a little bit later, and just you can kind of tug on that black band. That's going to be in the back, so we won't see it. Okay, now I'm going to take my 2 blues. Okay, so opaque and jelly. I'm going to pull the eye onto them in order. So first pull your eyelid band, then your white, then your eye color, then your 2 black. Or get on there. Then your iris color, then your white, then your eyelid. Okay, so I pulled the entire eye onto the 2 blues, okay? I'm going to place the loops of the blues around this peg and around this peg. And you're going to turn the eye so the nice part is facing that way. Okay, we're going to make another eye, so grab another white. Oops, that is a tearing white. I don't want that. Wrap it around, creating 4 loops. And take your eye color, wrap that around, creating 4 loops. Then your black. Wrap that around twice and put your finger in the loop while you pull over 2 loops of the iris color. Whoops. Okay, then you're going to pull over 2 loops of the white, like that. And we're going to do the eyelid again, so double looping a blue. Put it on the inner side of the eye, twist it, bring it to the other side. Bring that black out. Okay. So it looks like that. Roar. Okay. Now I'm going to take the opaque and jelly onto my hook, and I'm going to pull it over just like I did before. Okay, and I'm going to put the loops on the other side. Okay, again, the good part of your eye is facing outward, okay? Okay, we're going to put our horizontal bands on. So again, I'm taking one band of each blue, making our triangles, okay? Okay, then I'm going to double loop my opaque blue and put it like this. And we can kind of turn the eyes later on there if we need to. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to cap off my end here, but we may be able to take it off. Just wrap a blue band around, creating 4 loops. Okay, I put the opaque on. Now, I'm going to take my antenna and I'm going to go through the capping band. So it went through the capping band, the circular set of bands in the middle, and I'm going to wrap it around that same peg. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave that there for a sec. We got to make her a little side horn thing. So you're going to take a white, going to wrap it 5 times around your hook, and then I'm going to take a navy jelly, so a dark one, double loop it onto your hook and pull the white on, reclaim your loops. Then I'm going to take an ocean jelly, put it on, pull, reclaim the loops. Okay, I'm going to place this right onto this peg. Okay, just like that. Then you're going to make a second one, same way you did the first one, and you're going to put it onto this one. Okay. Once you've put that on, you might want to make 4 more and put it off to the side because we're going to use these later. Okay, 4 more of those. Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to dig down past the cap band and I'm going to find these 2 bands. Okay, so the 2 eye bands. So go into the peg. This might be a little tricky. It's find the 2 eye bands, loop them. Okay. Go down, grab the other 2 eye bands and loop them. And loop up the center set. Now here it might get a little tight, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift this off just because it's tight. Okay, and I looped that. Okay. So you loop that. Okay. Now we're going to attach. Actually, let's loop up this first. So we're going to loop all the way up the center. Loop up the center. All the way up to the top. Okay. Now, I'm going to dig in here and I'm going to loop these. Okay, so you have to dig in here, dig past the horizontal bands, grabbing these 2, looping them over. Okay, let's do the same thing on this side. Those. And we can loop all the way up this column. Okay. and all the way up this column. Okay. Now, I'm just going to lift this peg up. Okay, so I lifted that peg up. I'm going to go through, you have all your double looped bands, and you have the 2 sets of the double bands. Go through the first set here, that's right next to the double looped. Go through the loops and you're going to wrap them around this peg here. Okay. Once you've wrapped them around, you're going to dig all the way down. Grab those 2 bottom bands, loop them up, and loop up the rest. Okay, so same thing on this side. We're going to go through the loops here. Make sure you twist it the same way that you twisted this side, okay? You don't want it to be crooked. Wrap around the peg, dig down, loop up those 2 bottom bands, and loop up the rest of the way. Then you're going to take bands of any color. I'm just going to use white here. And we're going to tie off our ends here. Okay, so I'm tying off all 5 of these ends. I'm going to carefully lift this. It's going to look weird if you've never done heads with me. It's going to look very strange, but it won't when we finish the head, okay? When we attach it. Okay, so there is her head. Now, if that black loop is sticking out the front of the eye, we are going to, well, first you want to rotate the eyes if you can, so the eyelid's at the top, the blue eyelid. Now those black loops we can kind of pull into the head. So I'm just going to pull the black loops back here. Okay, same thing with this one. We want to hide it underneath. So we're going to bring it into the center of the bottom of the head. Okay, so I just pulled it down. Okay. Here, Saphira! Cool. She's going to be gorgeous. Alright, so I did that. Now we are going to work on the top of her jaw. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We are using the entire loom for this part. Haha. So grab your double blues. Okay. We're going to go straight down. Okay. We went down that column, now we're going to go down this one. Let me just think for a sec here. Yeah, okay, we're good. Sorry. We're good. Okay, take a blue and... Yeah, okay, take a blue and cap off your end here. Okay, wrapping it around, creating 4 loops on the peg. Alright, we're continuing with the double blues here. One, two, three, four, one more. Okay, I'm overstretching here. See how far I went down? I didn't go here to here, I went here to here. Okay. Now, teeth. She has 2 fangs that come out from the bottom of her jaw. So you're going to grab your white. I'm going to wrap it 5 times around your hook. Grab another white, double loop it. Put it on your hook. Pull. Okay, now the fangs actually aren't that long in the picture on the cover, so this is as long as I'm going to make it. You can make it another double looped length long if you want, but I'm just going to keep mine this length. What I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up these 2 bands on my hook and I'm going to pull that tooth onto there. Pull it onto the bands, replace the loops, okay, push the tooth so it's facing down. Let's put one on the other side. Wrap it 5 times around, double loop, pull on, rip clean. Okay, like that. Okay, I'm gonna take, if you want to put more teeth on here and here, you can. I'll show you how to do that. So you can do this. If you don't like the way they look after, you can always take them off without ruining the whole project. You just wrap band 5 times around your hook and you're going to just slip them on the bands like this. Okay, it's very simple. I'll just do it with you, and then if we don't like the way it looks, we'll take it off. Totally up to you. Oops. Hey, you. Okay, if you want to do this part too, we can. Okay, so we put our teeth on, and now we're going to put some horizontal bands on. So I'm taking my 2 blues again. I'm going to put 2 here. I'm going to take 2 more. I'm going to skip this one. Where am I? No, I'm not. I'm going to put, I'm going to put 2 here. Okay. I'm going to skip the next one. Put 2 here. Two there. Okay, I'm just going to put 2 at a time, making my triangles. Okay, and we want to double loop. I'm going to double loop the opaques. Put them between these columns. Okay, great. Now, we're gonna make the nostrils. I'm gonna do the nostrils in the light neon blue so that they're more visible. Because if you look at the picture, you know, her face is actually lighter down here. It kind of uses a skin tone color, but I tried that on my design and it didn't look good. So I'm just gonna make it a lighter blue instead of a skin tone color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the light blue. I'm gonna wrap it 5 times around the hook. Take another light blue, 5 times around the hook. Okay, then I'm going to double loop. Ooh, that's not the right color. Double loop a light blue onto your hook and pull those on. Okay, push down on your hook, hold the other end with your finger, and just take a single black. Wrap it 5 times around the hook. Then reclaim the loops. Okay, so that is 1 nostril. Let's make the other one. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Push down. Double loop onto your hook. Pull. Push down, put your finger through the loop, grab a black, wrap it, creating 5 loops on the hook, and reclaim the end. Okay, now I'm going to take 1 band of each color of the 2 blues. I'm going to, put them on your hook, and you're going to pull the nostrils on. Now we are going to lay these loops. 1 loop's going to go around that peg, and the other was going to go around this peg. I'm going to spread the nostrils apart. You're going to grab 2 of the 4 bands in the middle. Okay. Roar. And you're going to pull it down to that peg, okay? All the way down to here, not to this peg, to this peg. Okay? We can kind of just leave the nostrils there for now because we will be moving them in a minute once we begin looming. Also on the book she has this sort of ridge thing here. It's like Y, and we're going to be making that as well. with the light blue. Okay. So, let me just check what I did on my prototype. Okay. Double loop. Okay, let's just put it here. This is the light blue. Double loop again. Double loop a third time. Double loop a fourth time. Double loop going this way. And down. And double loop here. And here. Okay, I'm going to cap off by wrapping the band around, creating 5 loops on the peg. 4 loops is fine as well, it doesn't really matter. 3, 4, oops, 5. Okay, I'm going to loop up. Oops, my band broke. Yeah. Sometimes when we loop around 5 times, the band breaks, so I'm actually going to have it looped 4 times instead. Okay. I'll kind of release some tension on those bands. Alright, so I'm trying again. Yeah, that works better. So loop it 4 times. If the bands snap, just loop it 4 times. Okay. Okay. I'm going to take a white band here. Doesn't matter what color you use. Tie off your end and pull it off. Okay, so I pulled off my Y. Okay, great. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it upside down. So it's an upside down Y. Go through the loose loops. You're going to wrap them around this peg here, just like that, so the Y is upside down. Now I'm going to dig down and I'm going to find these 2 bands, the top ones, so you have to dig past the capping band as well. Loop them. Go back down. Loop the next 2. Go back down, loop these. Okay, I'm going to loop up again here. Okay. And then I'm going to loop up here and here. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift this up a little bit, okay? I'm going to take 2 blue bands, the same colors I used for my horizontals here, okay? You're going to stick your hook through the capping band here, like this. So stick it through all 4 loops, and then you're going to come back outward on the other one, like that. See that? You're going to take those 2 blue bands and you're going to pull them through here. I pulled them through. Now I'm going to lay them on the empty spot where I didn't put horizontal bands. I'm going to spread the nostrils. Okay, this is a little tricky here. You want to spread the nostrils and you want to grab 2 of the bands and put them on here from in the middle. So I have to do it this way. I'm going to try that again. You know what we'll do? I'll put it on first and then I can do it this way as well. Okay, so it might be easier to put it on first and then drag it like this. You just want to make sure the other side faces the opposite direction. just like that. See? Now that's attached. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop up this next set onto those bands and this one. Now watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the nostril, stick your hook right between the black part and the blue part, and I'm going to go below the bands. Actually, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to go above them. So stick your hook between the black and the blue, and you're going to wrap it around this peg like that. Okay, you can push those looped blue bands down, okay? And once we've done that, I'm going to loop up and hope this doesn't break. Okay, let's do the same on this side. So we want to loop down. Oops. I'm sorry, we want to go between the nostril, into the nostril, and wrap it around. The loops are at the bottom. Dig down, loop up. Okay, now we don't want to forget the guy, this guy, okay? So you want to dig down past the Y and grab him to loop him up. Oops, what did I do? I grabbed the wrong band. Redo. Okay, this is the right band. And this one. Okay, so make sure you loop this band here. Haha, or you'll be really sad later. Okay, continuing, I'm going to loop up here. Okay, same thing on this side. To here, then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to loop up to here, and I'm going to stop. Now I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to grab these two, loop them, and I'm going to go up once. Up once here. Okay, same thing here, loop over and up. Like that. And I'm going to go in here and loop this one. And I'm going to loop up this column up to here. Okay, second to last there. Let's do this one. Okay, up to there. Now I'm going to take my forehead, okay, my wacky looking forehead. I'm going to go into the first set of loops. So, you know what we can do? We should C-clip this first. Let's C-clip the two black bands together here so they don't come undone. So I'm going to grab a C-clip. Going to C-clip these together. Oops. Okay, those are the two eye bands. Groar. Clip. Okay. Great, okay. So, with my head upside down, I have my first set of loops here, okay, between the eyes. I'm going to stick my hook through that set of loops, come out the forehead on the top. You're going to attach, oh no we're not, we're just sticking our hook through. Then we are going to, holding like this, so the eyes are facing that way, we are going to grab these bands, so we looped up to here, we're grabbing the next set on our hook, and we're going to pull it through. Okay, so I have to be very careful here. So I'm going to pull those two bands through the hole that my hook is through, without grabbing any more bands. Okay, once you've pulled it through, you want to loop it. Okay, and then we can loop up to here. Okay, then we can flip the head. So now it's facing this way. Okay, it'll be right side up. We're going to count the fifth set from the top on this side. So here's this column of bands. 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 4 sets, not 5. I don't know why it's 4. So you have this stick out thing here. We're going to grab this set of bands, okay? So it's actually the 4th set of loops. I'm going to wrap it around this peg. And once we've done that, we're going to loop up. Okay, let's do the other side. So the 4th set, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4th set, wrap around this peg. Okay, loop up. Now we're going to go to the next set. So this is the set with the little spike attached. I'm going to go through the loops behind the spike. Okay, going through the loops and wrapping them. Loop up. Let's do the other side. Now make sure, okay, I went behind the antenna. So make sure it's the same on both sides. If you go behind the antenna on one side, make sure you go behind it on the other side. Loop up. Okay, so we're going in order. So I just did the 2nd set of loops, wrapped them, and then we're going to loop up. Okay. Now it's getting tight here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to begin to release the bottom with my hook. So I'm lifting up from the bottom, hoping that my mouth turned out okay. Saphira! Hee. Okay, go through the loops attached to this peg. That's the end loops, loop up. The end loops here, wrap around this peg, loop up. The end loops here, wrapped around this peg, loop up. End loops here, wrapped around this peg, loop up. And end loops here, wrapped around this peg, looped up. I'm going to tie off with a different color than the white now. So now I'm going to tie off with black. Doesn't matter what color, again. I would just recommend you do a different color than the one you did already. Saphira, pop the eyes out. Oh, I love her. She's cool. And adjust the nostrils. The nostrils should be turned outward. That's why we looped them that way, because that's the way they are on the cover. Oh, I like this. Okay, we can take off this white tying band, or the whatever color you used down here. Take that off. We don't need it. We can also take off the white tying bands here. Great. You can kind of squeeze her head, give it a rounded look. Eventually we will be putting some... Oh, her spiky got stuck in there. Pull out her side spike things. Eventually we will be... Why is that one faced weird? Oh, maybe that's why it's underneath. Okay, So you can pull out those 2 horns there. Okay, yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm going to tuck that blue in. And whatever. Okay, so we have to do the bottom jaw now, okay? And kind of pull the teeth down a little bit. Saphira! I love her. Oh, she's so cool. Eragon. Okay, and we can also wire up her antenna eventually. So, you know, cool. Alright, cool, let's do her bottom jaw. Bottom jaw, bottom jaw, bottom jaw, la 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 la. Alright, first we gotta make her tongue, so grab your pink. I'm using pearl pink because she's a beautiful dragon. I'm going to be using pearl. Okay, so just take 2 bands at a time. I'm going to make her tongue a triangle shape. Okay, here I'm going to take 3 bands. And then I'm going to double loop 3. So 1, 2, and 3. And I'm going to cap off by wrapping this band around, creating either 4 or 5 loops, doesn't matter. We want to double loop a pink across here and across here. And we're going to take 2 and we're going to wrap them there. Okay? Alright, so now I'm going to dig down and loop up the tongue. Okay, we want to do this one first, the diagonals here, and then we can loop up this one. Okay, same thing here. Diagonals first, loop up. Alright, take your random color band. Again, I'm using white to tie off your 3 ends here. And we can pull off. Okay. Pretty big looking tongue, but it's fine. Okay, so put the tongue aside. And now we are going to be doing the bottom jaw. So it's so bizarre. Why is that like that? Oh well. I don't know why that's like that. Let me just check something on my prototype here. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay. Alright, so we're taking the 2 blues at a time. We're going to go down 10 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I went down 10 times. Now I'm going to go down the next column. Bum, 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 bum. Oh wait, what am I doing? 1, 2, 3, 4. We should go down 4 times. 3, 4. Sorry, I'm in La La Land. This goes like that. Sometimes we artistic people zone out randomly. Okay, go here. Okay, so okay. Yeah. Okay, great. So, we're gonna make his chin spikes, so grab your dark blue, or if you have the dark blue. Okay, we're going to wrap a band around, creating 5 loops. I'm going to double loop a band, pull it onto the hook, onto the double looped bands, reclaim, and then grab 3 of your dark blue. Onto your hook, and we're going to pull that onto those 3. Reclaim. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to lift up these 2 here and drop them. Okay? And I'm going to attach this. If it's curved, you want it to be curved downward. Okay, curve it downward. And then once you put it on, we're going to replace the loops. Okay, just like that. Alright, now we're going to attach those other little spiky things. So the same things we made behind the eyes here, you want to make 4 more of them if you haven't already. And we are going to attach them here. So I'm going to put 1 around this peg and 1 around this peg. And on the other side, I'm going to put 1 around this peg. And 1 around this peg. Okay, you turn them so they're facing outward. Now we're going to do our horizontals. Okay, so 2 bands at a time. Okay, here we're going to double loop. I'm going to take my opaque double loop, and do a horizontal. Double loop, do a horizontal. Double loop, do a horizontal. And spill your bands everywhere. I just spilled my bands everywhere. Actually, I'm going to change my mind and do doubles. Because technically the bottom draw is the same size as the upper draw. So I'm just going to do doubles again. Sorry for the confusion, guys. Okay, cap off your end. I'm going to use an opaque to cap off. Wrap it around, creating 4 loops. Then we want to use the opaques to do our double looped horizontals here. Okay, just like that. Okay. And now I'm going to begin to loop, and have your tongue on hand and also your top of your head. Okay. We can also add teeth to the bottom if we want to, which I will do with you. So go under your capping band, grab the top 2 bands, loop them over, go back down, loop the next 2. Okay. And I'm going to loop these 2 and these 2. Now if you want to attach teeth, we're going to attach them here. I'm going to do the little teeth like I did on the top, so wrapped around, creating 5 loops. Lift up the top 2 bands we just looped, and pull the white band onto it, clean. Let's do it again. Wrap around, creating 5 loops. Lift up the 2 bands. Pull on. Clean. Okay, let's loop up this guy here. There you are. Okay, we want to dig down past the chin spike to grab the 2 bands down there. Loop them. There's one. Okay, and we want to loop up to, oh, this we want to loop, so this middle column we can loop all the way up to one more here. Okay, all the way up to here. Okay, let's loop up the side here and this side. Let's attach more teeth. Okay, wrap the white around, creating 5 loops. Oops. Pull up the 2 loops and pull the white on. Put them back. Do the other side. Loop up here, and loop up here, and we'll put 2 more teeth on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so now we're going to attach the head. Okay, so grab the top of your head. What you're going to do is you're going to look at it, and you see where the cheeks come out here on the side. Okay, it goes from 3 rows or 3 columns to 5. Okay, if you turn it upside down, you'll see what I mean. Tooth is crooked. So the first set of bands where it comes out to 5. Okay, so here you have the tooth attached to this band, and then it comes out. The next set, we're going to go through those loops. Actually, we're going to turn them over first, then we're going to go through the loops. Turn the head over, go through those loops, and if we're on this side of the head, we're going to attach to this peg here. Twist the head so it's facing the right way. That that would be helpful. And then once those are attached, we are going to loop these two bands. So you have to dig down past those and past the horizontals to find those two bands, loop them over. Then we want to loop up the verticals here. Okay, so I looped both sets. I looped the diagonals and the verticals here. I'm going to go up. Oh my, what happened there? Hold on, I missed a band somehow. Okay, so anyway, yeah, so those are looped. We're going to loop up the next set here. And again. And again. Okay, so I looped up to here. Let's go through the other side, okay? So those sets of bands on the other side where it comes out to 5 columns. Wrap those around the opposite peg here. Drop your notes on the floor. Okay, now we're going to grab the diagonals first. Make sure the loops stay around the peg as you loom. Okay, then dig down and grab those two at the bottom. Loop them up. And we are also going to go up here. Okay, so we've looped up to here, here, and here. This is where we're going to attach our tongue. So grab your tongue. The 3 loose ends are going on those 3 pegs. Okay, so go through the loops. Wrap the first one around. Once I've done that, I'm going to loop all the way up. Okay, we are no longer attaching the top to the bottom of the head. We are going to leave them separate. This will result in a not kinked neck. You'll see what I mean later. Okay, so loop the middle set around, loop up, and the final set. Okay, loop up. Great. So now my tongue is attached. Now, we looped up to here. We're going to go through the, let me see, the next set in line. This part's, as we go up here, it's going to get a little tricky because you got thick sets of bands here on the side of the head, so just do your best here. So we're going to go through the next set, which we can kind of see pretty clearly here. Okay, so go through the next set of loops on the edge, wrap around that peg, loop up. Okay, let's do that on the other side. Go through the next set in line, wrap around, loop up. Okay, I'm going to try to find the next set. It's a little bit tricky because it's thick here, but just use your do your best judgment. Obviously, it's going to be if you're doing a 2-tone blue dragon, you know it's one of each color. Loop up. Okay, same thing on this side. Did I go up behind or above? Where are you? Okay, this is not looking good. Boop-be-doop-be-doop. Be sure this is right here. It's a little tricky. See, I'm even having trouble finding the right set of bands here. Okay, it's obviously these, and then I want to say these. Whatever, just do your best trying to guess which ones they are because it's a little bit hard. I'm like a perfectionist though. You know what we can do? We can kind of lift up the bottom. It might help a little bit. So if it's getting tight, we can lift up the bottom, the mouth. It'll help. Don't lift up too much though, otherwise it'll come off. You don't want that, so I'm gonna not lift past there right now. Okay. Forgive me for taking forever on the spot. I just want my Saphira to turn out looking good and not weird. Okay, I'm just going to guess with those. I don't really think those are the right ones, but it's not really you're not gonna be able to tell too much as long as it's pretty close on the guess there. Okay. And so we are continuing with the attaching. Okay, lift up. Tricky design. I like to make people's lives complicated, apparently. The thing though is her mouth is very small, Saphira's, so there's a reason behind the madness here. We've got to connect the cheeks together because she's got a small mouth on the cover of the book, so that's why. Okay, we're going to attach one more here. Okay, so second to last set, if that's, or just do your best. Loop up. Okay, same thing here, second to last set. Okay, and then loop up. Alright, so now I'm going to tie off these 5 ends with a different color. So since I used black on the top, I'm going to use white on the bottom. Okay. Black for the top, white for the bottom. Aw, Saphira! Hee. Alright, her tongue's stuck in her head, so we're going to bring it through her mouth. So you can kind of push it through from the back, since there's a big hole in the back of the head. There's her tongue. Aw, I love her. Okay, so there you go. Don't worry if her mouth is like flipping up like that, because you can always put wire in it later. Okay? She's beautiful. I love her. So if you don't like the teeth, you can take them out. This is a prototype I did I took the teeth out, so depending on how you like it better. Okay, so pull out these little side spikes. Okay, we can take off the bands around the tongue. Okay, only around the tongue. There should be 3. Okay, so make sure you take those off and stick the tongue back through. Alright, so there is your Saphira head, okay. You can wire up her antenna so that they bend in the right directions, okay. Totally up to you, okay. Hope you love her so far, hope she turned out okay. It was difficult attaching the head, but hopefully you did good, okay. So go to the next part and we will continue working on her, okay. See you over there, everybody.